Hello everyone, welcome to our final project. Our project is about GUI and online gaming. I'm Amy.
This is Morvin.
Our presentation mainly focuses on 4 parts: introduction, demo of app, discussion, and analysis. We first come to the introduction part. Our motivation mainly comes from our 2 most commonly used chatting apps, QQ and WeChat. As we can see here, they both have a sign up and login system and allow us to chat and game together within the apps. Sometimes when we find something hard to decide who to listen to or just get bored, we may play games like Tacit Test Guess Number, Paper Scissors Stone, or Roll a Dice to help us decide in WeChat, like what is shown here. Motivated by QQ and WeChat, we try to enrich our chat system with some basic functions listed here. For users who come to chat for the first time, they need to first sign up for their accounts. Otherwise, they can log into the chat system directly using correct IDs and corresponding passwords. After connecting successfully with others, they can type in the chat box and send messages to others. If they do not connect with others, they can also check what time is it or to read some poems stored in our system. Also, when connected with another friend, the 2 users can play the guess number game to test their tacit. Then let's take a look at our demo. This is our sign-up system and login system. For users who come and use the chat system for the first time, he or she has to sign up by creating an account with a username and a password. Users need to confirm their password once again to store it into our system. After having an account to log in, if they input non-pair ID and password, they will receive error message. Only with correct name and password can a user successfully log in to our chat system. Then is our chat system. We sign in another account for Morvin. After the user log into the chat system, they can check what time is it now or read some poems alone, and they can also check which people are online. They can connect with their peers by entering their names in the chat box. We update the chat system and now every group member can see their own messages and all the chat history instead of receiving repeated starting messages. Then we come to our game function. When connected with a friend, the 2 users can also play the number guessing game to test their tacit understanding. When one player sends the string game, 2 GUI game boxes will show up. Both players will receive the rule of the game and they can start the game. Player 1 starts first and then player 2 needs to input a number to guess. When one player chooses the number, he or she will receive a message waiting for the peer to guess. If the other player chooses the same number, both of them will receive bingo and the game ends. The game's logic is to gather information inputs from players to system, and then the system will deal with the information to judge whether the number guessed is too big or too small. And the players are updated with each other's status at the same time. When game ends, the game windows will automatically close.
Then is our discussion part. Tkinter is a GUI toolkit in Python's standard library that allows developers to create windows, buttons, labels, and other graphical components. Tkinter is known for its simplicity, and we use Tkinter in nearly every part of our project. And here is other packages we used in the project, like JSON, Pickle, Socket, Canvas, Threading. These are all common used packages. For GUI part, we add a welcome picture in the first login surface. We can see that we use Canvas to add the picture. For the sign up part, to record user information, we developed a sign up system to help users to set up their own ID and passwords. We ask the user to confirm their password. We also show the passwords with stars to protect privacy here. Then we set up the login system. After signing up, the user's information are recorded. If they put non-pair ID and password, they will receive error message. Only when they input the right ID and password, they can log in. Here is our improvement in login system. We add a password function. From the code, we can see that if the username or the password is not matched or not found, an error message will be raised. Game GUI file is a crucial part in this project. We define functions. The initialize function to initialize basic information of players, run function to start a new thread to run the GUI, and the GUI function to set up and configures GUI elements for the guest number game, and the send function to insert a given message into GUI's text console and clears the input entry field. And then the send as function can help us send a given message by calling the send method after processing, used for sending the player's guess. Here is the overall view of the game part. The logic is not complicated, and the key point is to update the information with the system and the players at the same time. Now let's see what we do in the interaction part. From the code, we can see that when players send game in the box, it will call the top level function to start the windows. Then, in the game window, player 1 and player 2 will receive different information, rules of the game. Here is the sample code for how we deal with the messages from peers and deal with this game input. Now let's see the detail of the code. When the player 2 sent first, it will not raise error messages, but a reminder that please wait for the partner to enter the number first. When player 1 set the number, both of them will receive information. Player 1 will receive your numbers are entered, and please do be patient and wait for the other player to answer. And for the player 2, he will receive your friends are ready, please start. Then is our comparison part. System will compare the number from two players and update the information to both of them. When player 2 gets the correct answer, both of them will receive a message bingo and the game is over. The game window will close automatically. And then they can type in bye to log out the system. Then is our analysis part. To improve our project, we come up with multiple games functions like tic-tac-toe and paper-scissors-stone. We can add a score accumulation system for the game players. Here is a demo for tic-tac-toe. However, we use separate server and client to test the new game, and we didn't combine them yet. After the combination, two players can play the chess on two separate GUI chessboard.
For some other future development, we mainly focus on 2 points. The first one is to add a customization function, which can allow users to choose from different chatting backgrounds they like, and they may even upload their own pictures for their backgrounds. The second one is about the login system. Since we add password function to secure each user account, users need their own correct password to log in. So we may meet cases when users forget about their passwords. So it is both reasonable and necessary to add a password retrieval function in some future improvements. And of course, other than the above two functions, we may consider more interface functions to make our chat system more attractive. And that's all for our project. Thank you for listening.